Runbacks aren't something Dark Souls invented, they're something they ruined. And so when Silksong returns runbacks to their glorious origins, most players have collectively forgotten why they matter. In Super Metroid, the design explicitly forced you to retraverse hostile terrain for every boss attempt, and each of them specifically retrained you for the battle you were about to engage in. The path to Kraid required you to use quick platforming on narrow ledges, and to avoid enemy projectiles while staying mobile. The two-dimensional aspect of the game meant that you were forced to engage in this diegetic training, where in a 3D game like Dark Souls, it's simply more convenient to avoid any hazards on your trek back to the Fog Gate, which is why FromSoft have finally done away with this awful implementation come Elden Ring, yet their damage is already done, as Silksong explicitly uses the same techniques that Super Metroid did, only now the perception has been tainted. While The Last Judge's Runback is the game's most egregious, it's filled with diegetic tutorials, as the Dresnet enemies fire projectile cones which ricochet off every surface. This is a mirror to the Judge and its expanding heat waves, as they force you to track multiple trajectories while positioning yourself within a narrow space due to the platforms. What's more, the Runback includes regular Judge enemies, which are a literal miniature version of the boss, including the same weapon type, that of a ball on a stick, drilling the same attack telegraphs into you but with lower stakes. Finally, the bell pogos present during the jaunt are to prepare you for the aerial dodging that's necessary when the flames start erupting beneath you. And so, arduous as it may be, every obstacle in the ascent serves a specific mechanical purpose. Sorry about this, I'm speeding myself up to not waste time, but I've been uploading for over 4 years and have nearly 500 videos on this channel, and I really wanted to do this because I thought it was speaking, but people tell me that this works, but less than 2% of my viewers are subbed, so if this is your first video, please consider liking and subscribing. Now, before this next example, I do want to qualify all of this by pointing out that Moorwing's Runback has almost nothing in the way of challenges, as you're travelling downwards, so it's practically effortless to guide your fall away from the enemies that presumably have some lesson engraved into them. The reason for that admission is because now I have to praise the Groll Runback, and I'd like to retain my eternal soul after I've done that. Groll's Runback is an excruciating exercise in length, precision, and mechanics, which is an exact mirror to his boss fight, where the noxious water serves as a death sentence when you're trapped in a room with him and his gauntlet. So aerial precision is an absolute requirement for succeeding against this boss. And that's what the Runback abusively ingrains into you, as you deal with aerial enemies and pogo obstacles where you only get one attempt, which is reflected in the gauntlet of foes which precedes this fight. The sheer length of the Runback also mirrors the psychotic duration of the combat encounter.